Okay, so this is a simple and quick video where we harden the top of the chassis for both the T-34, T-76, the T-34-85, and the SU-85. So I guess both would be 2. So all of the marks of T-34 chassis version. Anyways, we're gonna do the top. The most important area that you definitely want to harden, and we're hardening it by just putting a thin layer of 2-to-1 glue on there. But this area here, so right up to here, along here, has to be especially hard. So put extra there. That's the area you want to harden the most, so that you don't slice any off when you're doing the beveling step. So the next chassis step will be laying on the back portion here, and you actually don't have to pre-harden this. But I would just go ahead, because it makes it more durable and stronger in all ways. Just go ahead and pre-harden all of these parts rather than just this area. But that's really the reason why we're pre-hardening it here, is so that those get a bunch of resilience for when we're scraping a blade along them, essentially. So any of these areas here, if they're open woundy, you might want to put a patch across them. They shouldn't be too bad. It's not a very aggressive angle, so they generally don't split too bad unless you're using very thick cardboard or you've cut far, far too deep with your blade when you originally made them. I mean, it's not worth turning back now. So if they're bad, cover them now. And you can even take sandpaper to them. And I would do that before applying this layer of glue. It's a lot easier to sand down before hardening. So you can even take it and put it along the edge of these. And one thing, if you have the time and patience to do, that's always good to harden are these little bits that stick out here. Now mine have delaminated a bit, so I'm going to put glue on them and then just kind of press them together so they form a single part and they're not off kilter or anything like that, which you don't want because you're gluing a bunch of more pieces to the inside of them, and you want them to form one part. So it's good to pre-harden those as well, but I wouldn't do too much of the bottom. And if you do these parts here, when you set it down to dry, just set it on something so those are not touching your surface, or else you might glue to your table or whatever. And the SU-85 is essentially the same thing. You can go ahead and harden all of this. You don't have to harden back here. I didn't show any trimming process. You might want to, if there's ridges here, if you're going to harden in here, you might want to sand them down a bit. You can wait as well if you're just going to harden in here. But yeah, the SU-85 is treated in essentially exactly the same way. So just pre-harden and then you'll be ready for the next step.